How do you deal with loneliness? Educational videos, podcasts, cooking, journaling. If I'm alone, then I'd like to work on improving the only person I'm in contact with me. I got a bunny. The bunny didn't like me, so I got a second bunny. That bunny was nicer, and made the first bunny nicer. So the answer is redundant bunnies. Exercise, meditation, proper sleep schedule and steady diet along with healthy hobbies and fun projects. Or drugs and alcohol. By not trying to socialize. Being around people makes me lonely. Being alone is very comforting and satisfying. I take myself out on dates. Fancy dinners are surprisingly affordable for one person. It'll usually be like $80, $100 that I'll spend on myself for dinner and a cocktail or two at a super upscale restaurant. I don't need to spend money, though. Just going to a park or fair, maybe a cheap movie, with the idea of taking yourself on a date is very nice. Drink a lot of beer, and relive all the poor choices I've made throughout my life. On repeat. Every day. I'm a man. Most people don't care anyway. I just live with it. Been so long I don't know what I'd do if someone showed genuine concern for me. If it's constant, you have to learn how to love yourself more. Not easy at all, but doable. And when you have, the lonely days become minimal. They'll never completely go away, but it'll make it easier. Pass the time by scrolling through social media over and over, sleep, watch TV. Mainly just passing the time. Remember that people are insufferable and exhausting. Then be glad that I'm an introvert and carry on with my day. I just remind myself that it's better to be alone, than it is to be surrounded by crappy people who don't give a crap about you. By all definitions I'm a lonely person, but I don't feel like a lonely person. I do enjoy solitude and embrace being on my own. Having grown up with a disability and an overprotective grandma, I spend a lot of the time on my own and learned since very young to be by myself. I never get bored. After a while, more like years, you kind of go numb. Always just a little bit sad, but it's there all the time so I got used to it. That's how it feels for me. People come and go from my life, they never can or want to stay there permanently. I think I'm accepting that as a hard truth, because it doesn't bother me so much anymore other than that little bit of sad. Put my quilt into a cylindrical form and hug it close and talk to it as if it were my partner. It actually really helps and helps me sleep at night. I've been doing this for like the last 4 years. I don't think I've ever slept better. Solo travel if you got the money, really helps you find peace with yourself and maybe you'll learn to enjoy being alone. Starting in my mid-teens, but, having had some indication of the issues before then. I've dealt with it by developing a personality disorder that has, so far as I can tell, made it totally impossible to feel loneliness or the feeling of missing someone. So, I can't feel them, because I'm broken. Fantastic news, right? I'm dealing with it by myself, pretty much. I have no friends, I'm slowly becoming more emotionally distant from my family, and I'm not going to any kind of therapy. I had a breakthrough when I was a kid and realized that the nature of being human means being contained in your own head and that most people are lonely to some degree or another. I started focusing on looking after other people and it made my own loneliness easier. And the occasional times people notice is an extra bonus. I have my hobbies: listen to music, check audio gear, play paddle, table tennis, video games. Walk my dog, play with him too, learn new languages, go to friends' places or invite them to my place. I'm always on my computer, playing video games, studying my hobbies, reading information that will improve my livelihood. I cook food that will give me energy. I drink nicotine beverages, coffee and Red Bull. Red Bull is my fave, and I also nap. Listening to music, drugs, writing, drawing, and watching my favorite TV shows. Yes, I do this all at the same time. I'm lucky in that I enjoy solace. It doesn't mean that I'm not lonely though, I very much am, but I just have a very large buffer before the loneliness starts to actually affect me. Music, get a pet, go out and walk to places you've never been, get a hobby where you lose track of time and most importantly, get to know yourself and enjoy your own company. Journaling is dope, can plan goals and give your life direction. So is cooking, you will get good and want to cook for people friends. Dogs are cool. Workout groups are great. Push yourself to learn something new. A new skill set, language. And also don't be lazy. You'll find out you're putting off a lot that you'd otherwise be taking care of. You simply get used to it. The sting is there from time to time, but mostly it's fine. And, honestly, it doesn't feel like the rewards of having a relationship are worth the work required. The pain of loneliness is far easier to bear than the pain of betrayal. You play games? Even if it's single player, you can probably find a Discord of like-minded individuals and form a social group pretty quick. Even if it's not a constant hangout, at least you have someone to share hobby stuff with. Sometimes when I'm in a particularly lonely mood, I'll put on multiple Twitch streams simultaneously and turn the volume down so they're not quite audible. Just having people talking around me helps me feel less isolated, even if I'm not paying attention to what they're saying. By changing the negative connotation regarding loneliness, it's solitude and it's not lonely. It can be peaceful in a loud world. I don't mind being alone with myself. If it actually becomes lonely, then it's time for company. E.g. my cat, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu, Spotify, reading, I go to restaurants on my own, go walking around town and stores. Become a pro. Trust no one, even yourself, cause at the end of the day, you still ate that cook. Embarrassed smiley face, you didn't you? I purchase old bikes with potential to be resold for 5 to 10 times as much as the original price after a good cleanup and restore. That to me is therapeutic. I don't care about anything. I repeat when needed. I hardly feel lonely, but when I do, I go on a group chat app called Camfrog. There's lots of pervs, but there's also other decent lonely folks. Plus the pervs, after an hour or so of their shit you can PM users, make me realize why I avoid other humans, and I don't feel lonely anymore. I volunteer at a German Shepherd rescue. I spend a lot of time with the puppers. Walking, training, and lots of cuddles. It has helped me a lot. Install dating apps at 3 AM, realize I'm not wanted and then proceed to uninstall said dating app the next following morning. Rinse and repeat. Spend a lot of time online. Find ways to contribute or stay active online that takes up a lot of your time. Also, if you see enough annoying people online, you'll be happy you're alone. Works a lot of the time too. If you're lonely, it means you're unhappy with your own company. There's a significant difference between being alone and being lonely. The two are not the same. Gen X, grown up with it don't suffer from it, I thrive in it. Most of you are millennials or gens, I suppose. Well, you've grown up differently. If you need people around you, do something about it. Go join a club or something or start a family. Someone once gave me some good advice when I was a kid. Talk to the hand 'cause the face ain't listening. Since the day I've never been lonely and my hand is one of my best friends.